Hi, I'm Kelly. I channel my spirit guides, and I am at George Rogers Park in Lake Oswego watching the drama unfold between the crows and the ducks. The duck just left. Oh, it's up there. I don't know where she's going. She left her two little ducklings in the water, and I think she's going to be back soon. Do you see them? They're in the water. Can't tell if you can see them. Anyway, I'm gonna channel the Morrigan because the crows are everywhere, and I don't understand what's going on. She is like a goddess of war from the Celtic mythology, and I just see crows everywhere. So, but I know I have to focus on my kids right now. I need to be stronger for my kids. I'm figuring out a self-care routine that includes fitness, which is kind of exciting because it's summer and I can actually go outside and do stuff. And it feels good to be in shape. I have had brief moments of being in shape, and I remember it does need to be a priority in your life. And then you'll find that when you're not working out, the rest of your day feels cleaner because you did that, you know? So is that what the Morrigan wants to say? You want to talk about fitness so that I can be a better mom? Because I know being a better mom, all they want from me is my attention and my authentic love. I can tell that my 17-year-old is like, Mom, you want to micromanage my behavior so that you don't worry about me, but what I really need from you is just to know that you trust me and you love me. So I know I need to demonstrate to my kids that I enjoy them and I love them, and I'm not so worried all the time. Okay. And the exercising is going to help that. Okay. Okay. Hi, Kelly. This is the Morrigan. Good synopsis there. That's an excellent synopsis, that exercising is something you have enjoyed in the past. Did you forget that you actually like doing it? You know, there's the programming is even going to stop you from being happy. Okay. So the sun is an archetype that reminds us about joy. It's yellow. Okay. It's there every day. It shows up every day. It's warming to the skin. And when you spend time in the sun, you're going to become happier, more joyful, relaxed, chill, island time, go with the flow, just by feeling the sun on your skin. So we've been getting you outside, telling you to be barefoot, encouraging breathwork and meditation and silence, and more non-reactive behavior towards the stressors in your life, more boundaries with stressors, slowing the triggers down through breath work or boundaries or walking away or pausing. Okay? So these tools are working with your household, with your children. And things are coming along even though you are not satisfied. Okay? Remember to speak kindly to yourself. Things will go faster and be more fun if you just say to yourself, I am owning my responsibility as consciously as I can. So I don't need to feel guilty because I'm doing my best. Okay? I don't need to be worried because everything is unfolding as it's supposed to, and I have the guidance to deal with whatever shows up. That's why I don't have to worry about money, because in the moment when there is some sort of financial panic, there will be an answer that might take some humility. It might take some time and patience and character development to receive it. But every time there's a mistake in my life, it's an opportunity for me to pause and go, God, what is this about? Why do you have me on this tangent? And we told you a long time ago that the tangents are where the real learning happens. The autopilot success mode of your ego is not important. It's just participating in the illusion. Every goal you have on this planet to physically create is participating in the illusion. And to leave the matrix, you have to realize that nothing matters in the illusion. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. It's not real. Your suffering is not real. It's been programmed so that it's unconscious, but you do have a choice. It's just buried, so you have to fight for it. Okay, Kel. And so this whole concept of exercise, you know, you've got programming around it being hard, and it's going to take discipline, and discipline's awful, and all of this. Okay, that's been programmed into you to think that exercise is awful, and that it's going to be work, and it's going to be routine, it's going to take up time, and you have all these excuses. Okay, well, consider each of those excuses as like the enemy coming at you. Okay, and you know the answer is always the same. Pause, question whether or not you agree with that message that's coming at you. I don't agree with it. It's not hard. It's not going to be hard. It's only going to make my life better because my chi is going to function better. You know, I'm going to crave better foods because whatever you do affects everything else. It's all going to build on each other. So just be optimistic about the steps that you think you want to take. Be optimistic about them. Yes, I am the Morrigan. And the war that I represent isn't the kind of war that you're used to defining as war, which is why Kelly's really confused. She's like, I'm just trying to stand for love. How did I start a war? Why are the crows showing up? Why is Morrigan showing up? I don't understand. I'm just speaking my truth, because the truth, the Christ truth within the heart of the light body of the human being has been manipulated so that the human doesn't have control over their own power. So the war is freeing humans from the slavery mindset that has been placed on them as a contract of duality. So as soon as we place the deep state as scapegoat for all of the ego's work on the planet, we want to remind you that the deep state has been around in other forms. Okay, so they're not really the enemy. The enemy is the ego, but we all have an ego. So are we going to fight with ourselves like autoimmune disorder? Autoimmune disorder is your immune system fighting its own body. Okay, that's a symptom of us fighting the ego or fighting patriarchy. Okay, stop defining patriarchy as a bully of society and see it as a wounded masculine. And it's in every single human being because we all have it in us. It's yin yang. We all have masculine and feminine inside us. And the feminine was taught to not trust her intuition, and the masculine was taught to over-dominate. And those are toxic, because then when you get into a relationship, it's very codependent, it's very passive-aggressive, nothing's getting accomplished. Okay, so the women need to understand their value by saying no when they want to say no, by listening to their truth and acting on it, even when it's uncomfortable because they have social obligations leading them into self-denial. Okay, women, you got to stand up for yourselves. You're the queen. You're the I am of your universe. You are those children's first advocate in life. So stand up for them, for what you think is right. If you like what the teacher said, stand by the teacher. If you don't like what the teacher said, stand by your kid. Okay? And men, I don't really have a lot of advice. That would take more meditation. I have not been focusing on what men need. I'm focusing on, but the masculine does have a responsibility. What do I think about the masculine inside me, I'm not really thinking about the toxic version of the masculine inside me, except that I talk over people. I talk over people, you know. But the healthy masculine inside me is able to be uncomfortable when boundaries are needed. I'm doing that with my boys. I'm like, you got to get off your games. I'm going to give you 10 minutes, and when I come back, I'm not going to listen to any arguing. So I'm summoning the inner masculine inside me to follow through with that, to have the boundaries and to follow through with that. And so this war, back to the Morrigan, this war is kind of like a spiritual war, in that you're doing what you need to do as peacefully as possible, but to defend the light and the truth within you. Okay? Because that's how we express love, and that's how we anchor heaven, is by standing in our truth, regardless of the people who want to silence us. And we will be supported on the planet to do that right now. But that's it. There's shackles that we have to understand. There are shackles. We forgot the shackles were on our wrists. We were operating in a limited capacity because of trauma and slavery mindset. And now we need to let the friend standing next to us, being compassionate, who wants to help, take the shackles off your wrists, and then give yourself the time you need to heal and to witness what happened, and to forgive who's necessary to forgive, and hurt and get angry, and figure out a foundation of lifestyle and belief system that's going to help you step into your power. And the first place to start is to breathe and say, I am that I am, and my truth is inside me. And I can listen, and I can figure it out from where I am. I already have a program inside me that's normal, that I'm operating on. So I'm going to maintain that normal while I improve my habits, and while I consider and contemplate my belief system, because my feelings are telling me what to deal with. When I'm upset, it means I need to slow down and listen to that trigger to understand the story that is probably going to show up again. Every time we're triggered, there's a pattern that's going to come back. Okay? So it's really hard to deal with the trigger in the moment, but later you can reflect on it and go, okay, how can I respond differently next time that happens? And it's a war within you. It's not even a war outside of you with anybody outside of you. It's a dialogue within you where you're correcting all of your beliefs. And it's going to require effort, and maybe some humility, and maybe some difficult conversations in order to do it right. So the Morrigan is here with these crows every single day, reminding me to keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Keep it up. It's subtle work. Nobody's watching you. Okay, only you know the consequences of not listening to your inner guidance. Okay. Much love, and so it is. Namaste.